Hi there. It's time to look at Cardano and see what the whales are doing and whether there are any trend changes coming. If you're new to my sessions, here are the 3 key items I'll cover during the session. So let's start with the weekly chart as usual. Currently, Cardano is coming back down from the automatic rally like we talked about last week. And if we look at the chart, we see that while we see the bears hammering very heavily when the price gets to challenge the 42 cents, this white dashed line over here. That's the center line of the long-term playground. So this white box is the long-term playground for Cardano. Meaning over the history of Cardano, 70-80% of the time Cardano has been trading within this playground. So when the price comes down to challenge the 0.33 blue key level, you see this wick from the bottom. The bulls heavily came in like what they did during the panic over stage, the selling climax. You see these long wicks from the bottom. Okay, so basically the big picture hasn't changed. As we know, like explained in the Wyckoff method, during the accumulation cycle, it's more likely than not sideways trading area or activity. So the whales are still doing their paper hands, diamond hands tests. And while we call those tests, it's basically a period where some bulls may get in, and then when the price pushed to a certain level, the trading range top, like described over here, the whales start to sell something, and then the price comes down again. And the whales, while the price dropped, they got in again. So they play this game. So even the price range is at a lower level, they can still make some profit, right? If the whales got in around this 34, 35 cents range, and then sell at the 43 cents, 45 cent range. So let's say not as extreme as the lowest tip of the candle right here, 0.345. And the whales sell at around 41 cents. That's still 16% gain for them. So that's the way that the game is being played right now, while the narrative is still risk off. Certain whales are still making profit by playing in this sideways trading area. If you look across to 2002, 2003, quite a while now, like 4 years ago, initially when the price dropped to the level where it gets to the panic over stage, the volume was lowest back then until the late stage. When the further tests came in, the volume were even lower compared to where we are now, the early stage. All right, this early stage that I'm talking about. Currently, we're at the early stage. So when the price came down, you see the volume continuously decline. All right. But this time, the volume came lower earlier than the last time, because that time, you see before the selling climax, before this period, the volume was still spiking a little, even just a month before the actual selling climax appeared. All right. So there is a little bit of difference. Last time from the preliminary support, this PS stage, to the SC, the selling climax, it took, you see, like 4 months roughly. Yeah, 18 plus 4.5 months. This time is a little bit quicker, almost a month sooner. So let's get to the daily chart while the test is still going on. So expect that the price may still bounce between the 33 cents level and this white dash line. If the price ever comes down to test this light blue dash line, not all the way to the 0.24 light blue key level yet, the 0.275 was where October 10th as well as August 2024 tested. So it's a level that's still possible if the whales decide to, or if the narratives turn further negative. In the daily chart, we're seeing, some people will say, oh, there's like a double top and that's why it's coming down. Yeah, No objection to that. Just that what we usually look at here is whether there are like trends forming. Currently, there's no clear trend. Basically, you see is gapping to like a wedge over here. If I turn it to a line chart, you see this clearly has a mini wedge, a tiny wedge over here. So when there's a wedge, it can go either way. But we already know it's going to be some sideways movement, so it doesn't really matter. It's just basically mostly between 0.33 and 0.42, as far as we can see since the beginning of the year. All right. So that's for Cardano. If you're interested to get access to these sessions 2 days earlier than the others, feel free to join the channel membership. Remember to hit the like and subscribe. See you in the next session, and that's for Onyx Code.